and welcome everyone to another Dwarf Fortress episode. In this episode I think we are going to finish up here in the workshop level, as well as get started on some of our dwarves' individual rooms, so they don't have to all live up here. Also, there are apparently traders still here, but that's fine. So last time we dug out these noble rooms here, so now we just need to dig out a few more so that we have rooms all ready and set up. Let's see if these kitchens are ready or not. They are not, still waiting for construction. That is fine. Are these still working? Yep, still brewing, and our drinks is going up. That is brilliant. Okay. So, rooms for dwarves. Okay, so I think we are going to build on this side right here, and then go this way and this way and that way. Noble rooms will be here. No, actually I think dwarven rooms will be on this side. Just because I will then have the noble rooms here and maybe a throne room or something else really fancy over there. I think that'll be fine, yeah. That'll be fine. So I will first of all want to dig out a few places for statues whenever I get around to doing that. So we have a few places to put them, so we'll do that. That's the spot here. No, there. There we go. Actually, there we go, like that. Okay, so I actually think this is where we are going to do, yes. Okay, so here we are going to do a line in like that, and we are going to start building our dwarven rooms out from there. So I think I'm going to place them around this way. Now, a dwarven room only really has to be 3 tiles big, so you can in theory build a room that looks like this, and it will be really serviceable as a bedroom for the dwarves, not the noblemen, but for the dwarves. And you will see that it could have a bed, a coffer, and maybe a cabinet in here, so it would really be sufficient enough. But I prefer that my dwarves have a little bit more space to live in. So I'm going to create these 3x3 rooms, and then they will have plenty of space to store whatever they want inside of their rooms. Here's that. I will start with a few rooms, and then when they get filled up and taken and chosen and everything, then we will need to expand a little bit. But that is how life is here in the subterranean world. That'll be fine. So, let's see here. There we go. I'm actually not going to let them dig up all of these rooms, because that's just a huge time sink. I'm going to have them dig out, like, what's that? That's 12 rooms over there. And I'm going to designate a few more just to have them ready. And the reason that I am designating them to be dug out here one more space in from the wall is simply because, well, I'm making those statues there, and if I were to have the rooms one closer, then I could not have the statues there, because then the dwarves would go through and not be able to close down their room and so on. Actually, I think this is fine. Yep. No, it even looks similar. Nice. So I will have them dig out this much, I think. And I won't even connect all of these rooms up yet. I will just put them out so I know that they're there. And then really easily tell my dwarves to start digging. Takes a while to dig, not too long when they are quite experienced, but hopefully they will be able to do other things as well. There we go. I'm going to designate these rooms here first, like that. I think that will be perfectly enough for now, so they're going to start digging whenever they have the time for it. I'm going to place a few tables, increase the dining hall, like that. Also, I think that my miners are currently very busy with hauling things, like you see here. I am actually going to take them off fallen duty once again, if I can get them like that. And this one, I did take the miner, didn't I? I did. Good, I'll take them like so, there we go, and commit that, okay. So now my miners will only be mining and not care at all about hauling things, and this is perfectly fine for now, because then that means that my digging jobs will get done a lot quicker, and as you can see they started digging already. Perfect. It's going to be a bit wonky, as you can see here. There's two tiles wide walls here, and I don't really like having that, but what can you do? We'll have to live with it. I wonder, what is that stone, by the way? That is limestone. Okay. So as you can see, there's a lot of plump helmets here. Good. That's brilliant. They can make food, they can make drinks from that, and everyone will be perfectly happy with it, I hope. Going to put a door in here just to make sure that vermin can't get in too easily. Put a door here as well, just to maybe discourage them from using that place. And I also think that I can now... Oh, they are already slated for removal. Nice. Okay, so they will be removed at some point. I can maybe even put in a few more of these farm plots whenever they have the time, and then I can designate what they should be growing at a later time. Should be fine. I don't like having doors in here, because workshops don't really need them. It just slows them down, I think. So I won't even bother. Pink J, that's brilliant. Oh, that's another thing. I want to get a jewel cutter, I think, or gem cutter set up quite quickly, because then you can start cutting your gems into nice gems, and you can sell them for a lot of money. They are worth so much more when they are cut than when they are rough. That if you have a lot of jewels that you find when you're digging down, and as you can see I have quite a few, then I really suggest that you start cutting them as quickly as possible and start selling them, because especially elves, I think, like them really much, and you can trade them for a lot of their things, and it's nice, it's good to do that. Also, there's a lot of gold here that I actually want to mine out, so I'm actually going to designate this to be dug out here. It's going to be look a bit wonky, but I can build walls there, so it will look fine. Should be brilliant. Also, I don't like seeing all of these things, so I'm going to DBH hide them, like so. This is good. So now, instead of having to look at these all the time, I won't. The dwarves will still use them, but I don't have to look at them. That's really all I want. So they're going to dig out things, and that's good. Okay, so the noble rooms have been dug out, so let's set some up. Or one at least. So I'll put 2 doors in here. I can actually set up 2. Good. Do I have a table? I do have a table. Good. Table in there, chair in there. That's not a table, this is a table. Table in there, chair in there. I need a bed. Bed in there. I'm actually going to have to make them stop doing beds, because I have so many of them. Okay, so cancel beds, just make barrels, just make bins. That's perfectly fine. I like barrels and bins because they are really good to have. As I said, you can store a lot of things in them, so it's really beneficial to have them. Oh, sneaky dwarves managed to build there anyways. Okay, actually I'm not going to build those walls there, because then the dwarves might decide that it would be really fun to trap themselves. So. You never know with these things, they are not really the sharpest sticks. Still, they get job done and they work hard, so I guess it's fine. But yes, noble rooms, what else do I need? I have a table, I have a chair, and doors, and a bed. And I think this is actually enough to constitute as an office for the dwarves. And then, as you can see here from the noble screen, that he requires a meager office, and I think actually a chair and a table is enough for that, meaning that he will be quite happy to be in his office and work from there, meaning we will be able to get more accurate counts on what we have in stock and so on. So that should be fine. Also, let's see, they're still so busy hauling things. Oh, they're also digging out here. Nice, good. I will build some workshops then. Jeweler's workshop, J. I will actually have 2, because this is... Oh, this is actually one of those shops that you don't want to put here, because now if I placed it here, the dwarves would not be able to get into the workshop, so I will actually have to place it here. But really, that's fine. You just need to make sure you don't happen to place it wrongly, because then the dwarves won't be able to get in or get out if they are stupid enough to stand inside while building it. So just keep that in mind, because that is a really interesting way to lose some dwarves for no really good reason. A metalsmith's workshop, sure, I can have one of those. You need an anvil for this, meaning I can only have one anyways. Might as well build it. I don't think I need any of those. I will go to furnaces. That's not the furnace. What's the furnace again? Oh yes, E. Okay. So we have a few wood furnaces, meaning we can create charcoal, meaning we can use our smelters to start smelting all of our metals into bars, and then if we want to, we can then bring them to the forge and have them made into armor, weapons, crafts, whatever. So that is good and nice. Good, let's go here. Actually, that pop-up about animals may remind me to go here into the pen and pasture and see if all the animals are actually in here. Actually, no. There we go. The reason that you want the pasture is really so that you can have all the animals that the dwarves have contained in a single place and be able to keep track of them from there. So, my microphone stopped working for some reason, and I now have to talk after having recorded the audio, but hopefully it will be still watchable and enjoyable. So, as you can see here, we are, I think, looking at the workshops, thinking about... I think I am working on setting up a few workshops and building some walls, trying to make sure that my dwarves have a place to stay. Now, as you can see there, their rooms are soon going to be ready, and I think that we are in this episode or in the next going to place in some beds and coffers and maybe something else in there, maybe a cabinet into their rooms, just so that they will have some place that they can store their items, their clothes, so on. As you can see here, I am now designating a study, a kitchen, no, not kitchen, but dining hall and a bedroom for for both of my noble dwarves, the, I think, bookkeeper and expedition leader. And you need, or they need, a office, I think. Yeah, I'm pretty certain they only need an office, which you can create from the chair. And they need this so they'll be able to keep track of all their paperwork and be able to provide me with adequate or proper documentation, so that you can see from the status screen then precisely where everything is in the fortress, how much you have of everything, no question marks, none of that. And this is why I think nobles are good, because they provide you with more information and so on, but nobles can also be a bit annoying in the sense that when your fortress grows, the nobles will become more and more, or there will be more and more nobles, and they will require you to do quite a lot of work for that, so that they will be happy. They will want statues in the rooms, they will want armor racks, weapon racks, and all sorts of nonsense. You can actually see in all of the dwarves' thoughts and preferences menu, if you click on a dwarf, you can see precisely if he prefers maybe statues or leather gloves or that sort of thing. So let's say we have a dwarf that really likes statues. He might put a restriction so that you can't trade statues, or if you do, he'll be very, very unhappy. So that's fun when that happens, but as you can see here, I'm at job screen by J, then go to manager with M and then Q to get to this Q a new job thing. So what this is that here you can designate a job for all the dwarves at once. So for instance, if I want to write here charcoal, want to make charcoal, I can write that, find the job, designate, okay, 25 charcoal, make it. The manager will go into his books, make sure that, okay, this workshop is here, this workshop will be making charcoal when they have time, and like that. The reason you would do this instead of just going to the workshop and queuing it up is because, well, once your fortress becomes really, really big and you have a lot of workshops everywhere, you might have a hard time finding them, and it's just very, very convenient to have a manager and go into the manager and then just designate, okay, go here, or rather, when how should I explain this? Just go into a menu and click search, find the job, click make this and this many of that, and just have it done. You don't have to go and manually make every job in a workshop. So it's nice, it's good. And here we are, or I am designating a few more larger stockpiles, because as you can see there, the furniture and finished goods stockpiles are starting to get really, really full already, and we don't want that, because then the dwarves might not be able to bring out the finished goods out of the workshops, meaning that the workshops will start to fill up and clog and get much slower, and the dwarves will be unhappy and all sorts of things and nonsense. The dwarves are actually quite cranky in this game. I don't know why. But if they don't have alcohol, they get cranky and all sorts of nonsense. So it's good to keep them provided with all of the nourishment and alcohol and other things that they will need. Here I'm just going ahead and hiding a few blocks and building a few walls so that it will be look nicer, and so that you can't see that I have dug out that gold. It's my gold, no one can take it. Other than that, we can see that in the stocks menu there's still these question marks as you saw there, and even though I have the manager already selected and he has an office, he has all the things he needs, it will take a bit of work for him to set up and make sure that everything is in order. As you can see here, when the manager has got to work, we can see a drop down list of all the things in the fortress, every single little fruit or whatever. And this is amazing really, because you need it, especially when your fortress becomes big. If you don't have that menu, you will be, or you can be, quite lost trying to find a specific thing somewhere and so on. And if you have that menu, you can just go up, look there for, okay, I want to find a sword or something, and I want to look at all the swords and compare them on one single screen. So you can do that, and you can see if there's a sword that's better than something else, if it has better stats, or not better stats, but if it has better crafts, dwarfship, and so on. And this is good, because then you can decide that, okay, this sword is going to be given to this person because this is the best swordsman we have, or best axe dwarf, or whatever. And it's handy to have it. I would miss it if I couldn't have it. Also from that screen you can see all of the animals, all of the kitchen supplies. You can manage what the dwarves will cook, what they won't cook, all sorts of nonsense from that screen. It's amazing to have it. And once you start using it, you'll wonder where it has been all of your life. I can almost guarantee it. But nevertheless, let's go back to here. We are currently hiding a few blocks away because, well, they do not look rather pretty at the moment, so therefore we should hide them away. They will still be there, obviously, but that will save the dwarves some time from having to haul them away, and I'll have them do that at a later point anyways, because otherwise I cannot store all the items in these stockpiles that I want to or need to, as they do take up that tile of space. Alright, let's see here. I think... no, wait, what's going on? Okay, so we're adding a bit more farming, maybe? No, not farming, what's that? Ooh. Alright, alright. Farmers are important, so we need wood burners. Of course we need wood burners, because otherwise we cannot build our wood burning furnaces. And if we can't build those, we can't get charcoal, and if we can't get charcoal, then what's the point of having smithies or smelters or whatever furnaces if you can't fuel them? You can't melt the metal, and therefore you cannot get rid of all of these ores lying around. But nevertheless, I think we are going to start wrapping this episode up. Just have a little bit of a look on when the dwarves are walking up and down, and we have actually managed to complete more or less our workshop area here. Still a few workshops needs to be constructed, and a few more of these stockpiles needs to be placed. However, I think that will all be for the next episode. So thank you everyone very much for watching, and I hope I see you next time. Bye bye.